Detroit Den 313. We're back. Bears post game show. The Lions crap the bed, and we're going to talk about it. Before we do, hit that subscribe button. Steve, talk to the people.
Today, I don't even care if you guys hit the subscribe button. I just don't care about anything anymore. I don't even know where to begin. Well, this was one of the worst. We got our asses kicked in all three phases of this game: offense, special teams, defense. I think the concession guys showed up better than our concession guys do at home games. I think the ushers showed up better than our ushers do at home. I think the mascot was more alive. Just you name an aspect of football, and show me where we won today.
David Montgomery played real hard.
Oh, did he? He played real hard.
Yeah,
he did. He played real hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
and a bright note, no one died during the game, so I guess we have that going for us. Besides pieces of me. I don't even, like I said, I don't know where to begin. I guess we'll talk. This offense scored points in exactly one quarter of this game.
Yep.
The second quarter, really good. You shit the bed completely for three other quarters. You're not going to win games like that unless you score like 35 points in one quarter. You're not going to win. 13's never hardly going to be enough to win an NFL football game. Kinda 99 times out of 100.
Is that kind of like playing 7 minutes of football and then clinging for dear life?
Yes, like we did last week. I have been concerned with this team since the Baltimore game, and you know this.
Mm-hmm.
We got exposed. And what happens when you get exposed is teams learn how to beat you.
Put that blueprint out.
The blueprint's been out since Baltimore, and it might sound like I'm panicking, but we've talked about this. There are some huge holes on this team. So let's start with the guy who touches the ball every single play besides the center, Jared Goff. Is he the guy? I'm not paying him $50 million. Well, I'll tell you that right now.
Hey, I've been crucified for this, so I'm just trying to tread lightly. People, if you watch the show, you know how I feel about Jared Goff. I think that he is a good quarterback. He's just good. So
not today, wasn't.
And what I mean by that is, if you keep him clean, if you don't, the game's over for him. So if guys get to him, he's not a guy that's going to break free and go make plays. So that's what this is. And if you pay him $50 million, you're not paying this offensive line like you want to. Or if you pay him $50 million and play this offensive line, who you're going to lose? You're going to lose Amon-Ra, right? I mean, well, what are you prepared to do? So that's the dilemma that we have, people. So all you Jared Goff lovers, is that what you want? Do you want to pay this guy $50 million and potentially lose pieces around and then see if we can still do it? Think about it.
I understand the logic of it. It's harder to get better at quarterback, and it's easy to get worse. I am truly concerned. Like, I haven't even really dug into this narrative that Goff can't play outside in shitty weather, but from what I've seen, Goff can't play outside in shitty weather. So if we're going forward, what if we're up against it and we got to go to Green Bay in Week 18 one year with Jared Goff making $50 million a year? Do you trust him with a game on the line and a playoff berth? I don't trust him. I don't trust him. He can't use his legs, and he throws ducks when he throws the ball.
I didn't even think that the weather was really a factor in today's game.
It wasn't.
I thought that it was just him not playing well, and we had some problems up front. The Bears D-line came to play, man. Period. Like, we had trouble with their D-line, and it wasn't just our reserve, man. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name right now.
But, he played well. I know the right guard. He didn't play well.
But I didn't think he played bad. So it was across the board. I seen Decker just get bull rushed and thrown around like a child. We had some problems with the interior rush. I seen Graham Glasgow, who we love and who's been having a great season. He got thrown around by a rookie, Javon Dexter, who was on my mock drafts. I will say that. He threw him like he was a child. So this D-line was they were playing some rough and tough football and being disruptive.
Yeah, and what kind of D-lines do you think you're going to run into in the playoffs? I'll give you a hint. It's not bad ones.
Does one of those D-lines potentially rhyme with Smilly?
I don't know. Who's Smilly?
Philly?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were thinking I was thinking of like an individual player.
Oh,
yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that does rhyme now that I think about it. I don't know what Goff was doing today. Some of his decisions, I remember a play, it was in the first half when, we were in the game, and he took a shot to J-Mo on like 3rd and 12.
You're talking about when he underthrew him?
Yeah, you can't throw a deep ball, 1. 2, it looked like you punted it with the way you threw it. It was the worst spiral I've ever seen. At 3, Amon-Ra St. Brown was open for a first down. I don't know why we're taking shots there.
I know why we're taking shots, because J-Mo ran by him. He ran by his guy. He when the ball was in the air, he was by the guy by 2 yards. The ball just came up behind him. So
Yeah, I'm not saying he wasn't open. I'm saying Goff can't get the ball there. And he had a clean pocket.
Yeah, man. There's something that we talked about. I truly believe that Jared Goff does not have enough arm for Jameson Williams. I just don't think he does. If Jameson Williams is taking off and he's not getting that ball up in the air immediately, I don't think Jared Goff has enough arm for his wheels, man. We've seen it last season, him getting underthrown.
Jared Goff doesn't have enough arm to hit a cornhole board, let alone a receiver 40 yards down the field.
Hey, I'm not here to argue with you, man.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Goff's my partner in cornhole and it's crunch time, I don't know that he doesn't leave it short. When I need a point on the board, I don't know that he gets it there.
Listen, what I'm not going to do is
Grady shot, overshot.
I think that he is a guy, like I said, he's a guy that can get it done if you keep him clean, man. If you can't keep him clean, we're going to have problems. Bottom line, he needs a run game, and he's got to be clean in that pocket. He's not, every now and then he can make a play, but you're not going to have him playing behind a subpar offensive line and having successful games, right? He needs a run game. He needs a solid offensive line. Otherwise, he's going to struggle, period.
Yeah, I just I'm trying not to be emotional because I don't think we should have lost to a 4-8 football team. I think that the Bears are better than a 4-8 team. I think that they kind of had some bad luck with Fields getting hurt in the beginning of the season. I think they should be better than what their record says. They play very good defense. They have all year. They have some guys. But at the end of the day, when I take roster for roster, I don't see how the Detroit Lions don't beat them on paper, and paper doesn't translate to the field. I get that. So we got to talk about a couple other problems that we have, and it's not just Goff. I'm throwing everyone under the bus today. No one's safe.
Where we going next? Who you got, man?
Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell pretty much forfeited this game in the fourth quarter with 12 minutes left when he went for it on fourth down with a run play when you haven't ran the ball the entire second half. And you put Jahmyr Gibbs out there and it's 4th and 2, whatever it is, and you lose 4 yards. You gave that was the game right there. It was over at that point. You just took your team completely out of it. Now I have a question for you. Is that because he does not trust his defense?
I don't know if it's because he doesn't trust his defense. I think it's more about the fact that he trusts his offensive line. So you're looking at 4th and 2. You're looking at a situation where the defense really has no idea what you're going to do. They don't know if you're going to run or pass the ball because Jared Goff has thrown the ball on 4th and shorts before. So I think he's just like, hey, listen, Pene, Graham, Decker, Jonah Jackson, right? I trust you, man. So let's do it. And the Bears defensive line just dominated us on that play. They were 2 yards deep in the backfield. I think he just bet with a team that is supposed to, or a group that's supposed to be one of our predominant groups. We talked about it throughout this season that this offensive line is one of the best in the NFL, and we're only missing one guy. It's not like we're missing everybody. And they just didn't get it done. They got blew up that play.
My issue is that was the play I'm talking about. Was I took a note of it. 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. You just played the entire third quarter and were ineffective on offense, throwing the ball, running the ball, snapping the ball. You were ineffective this whole game in the third. When you go out there on fourth down, and it looks like to me, I was like, oh, okay, they're going to try to draw them off sides. They had the box absolutely loaded for a run. So even if you pass it, I can understand saying, okay, you read the box. There's 9 guys in there and you can only block 8.
Yeah.
You run the ball still.
Yeah.
Caught me off guard, and it got stuffed for -4. And I said, that's the game. You just gave them the game. It's over. You could have punted the ball. Justin Fields turns the ball over. He didn't. He does not against us. He doesn't unless it's the last play of the game. But he is prone for some turnovers or maybe some bad throws, and just not against us. But I feel like when we went for it on that fourth down, I was like, well, if we got other plans today, we might as well just go do it because that was it.
Yeah, I just think, man, there's so much that goes into that play. Jared Goff could potentially, and I believe that he probably does, has the ability to be able to check out of that, which he could do. They could be, it could have been a ruse, man. They could have been filling the box like they were coming and got out of it at the last second. We don't know what's going to happen. So at the end of the day, man, that offensive line just has to win that battle. Otherwise, we're in trouble, man. If this, it's just flat out, this is how this team has been made. Where did this turnaround start? it started with Penei Sewell, right?
Yeah, that
Do we
was the
agree?
Brad and Dan's first draft pick.
Right. So we are our staple, our anchor is our offensive line. So if we can't get it done from an offensive line standpoint, the wheels are going to come off of this thing, man. Period.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree with you 9 times out of 10. I just you should lean on your offensive line. You should be able to count on those guys. But for this particular game, with just how it was going, it wasn't getting done. So
yep.
to gamble like that, it kind of reminds me of, Dan, what are you doing in the Packers game when you go for it on the fake punt? Like you even said, I shouldn't have done that. I just think that was another one of those moments.
Yeah. I mean, I think
because there was still plenty of time.
Yeah, I get it. I get why he did it, but it is what it is. Hindsight 2020. It could have went either way for me.
I'm pretty worked up, William.
I like it, man. I'm worked up as well. So I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong.
I'm never wrong.
Oh,
just
Lord.
like this next topic. It's just like this next topic.
Fire away.
You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going.
I have a good, strong idea.
Aaron Glenn needs to pay for his own ticket back to Detroit, and that ticket needs to be to his house to pack his things and get the fuck out of town.
Jeez.
Get out of town.
What was it about Aaron Glenn today that really set you over the edge?
When I watch, I take notes. I keep receipts. All right. When I'm watching other teams play zone defense, they're playing tight zone defense. We very rarely get those like busted zone coverage where there's no one within 15 yards. When I watch other teams complete passes against the Detroit Lions and we're in zone, they catch the ball, they look, and it's like they're shocked that they're not being tackled. I swear to God. You just look at, and like Cole Kmet catches a ball. I have a 75-inch TV, William. There's no one even on my screen. There's no one within 15, 20 yards of these receptions being completed. I don't understand. You can answer this better than I can. Is this a personnel problem? Because I personally don't think it is. We've invested a lot of personnel, free agency and draft stuff in secondary. I don't think it's personnel. So if it's not personnel, this is a coaching problem.
You're going to be mad at me.
I'm probably, yeah, but I don't think I'm wrong. And I'm going to have the people comment on this one because I'm done with Aaron Glenn. I've given him his leeway. I've stuck up for him a little bit, even when I don't particularly care for Aaron Glenn. And people are like, oh, he's going to be a head coach next year. I hope another team is dumb enough to hire him.
Here's what I'll say. And guys, I'm ready to throw the hands in the comments. I think Aaron Glenn called a phenomenal game. A phenomenal game. And hey, listen.
You're trolling me.
Just here, I swear to God, I'm not. One of the things that I was looking for was adjustments. I see a lot of people talking about it in the comments. Predicated off what we did last game. Predicated off of Germ having a solid game. What were we gonna do with those guys that we used while Anceloni was out? How are we gonna bottle in Justin Fields and not just let him run around like crazy? To start off this game, we had Justin Fields bottled up, and then he came back to the middle of the field and then squirted out through the middle of the field with guys diving at his ankles. There was multiple times that Aiden Hutchinson, you could tell. It's not too many times where I'm going to tell you what the scheme was because it's hard to know. But there was multiple times where you could tell that Aiden Hutchinson was responsible for contain, and he lost contain on Justin Fields, who is supposed to be one of the, if not the best player on our defense. Anceloni's been having a year, but when we talk about Aiden Hutchinson, he is supposed to be a star. He is supposed to be the face of the Detroit Lions, and he got ate up multiple times, not containing Justin Fields. There was multiple times where we had that read option, and you could tell that the guy's job was to come down and squeeze and then contain Justin Fields. Derek Barnes, I watched multiple times, squeeze and then get ate up on the outside schematically, and I will go on all 22 and bring up some plays where Justin Fields got loose or run plays got loose where AG had guys in position to make plays, period. I thought that schematically he had a plan for bottling up Justin Fields, and players just didn't get it done this time. Now, I've had some concerns about AG and some of the things that he's done, but schematically, I thought, especially in the first half, I started watching some other things in the second half a little bit, but schematically, I thought that he did some awesome things. He made some awesome adjustment. I love that he used Jalen Reeves Maven. He got some hands on some footballs. He got a sack. he made some plays, man, in some opportune times, man. I think that the one play with Jerry Jacobs just on the 4th and 13 where they jumped off sides. I think it was just one of those
Where
plays
he
where
started out as a piece of bread, but then he ended up as a piece of toast.
yeah, I think that, man, honestly, it was just a broken play. Like they jumped off sides. It's kind of like that. What's going on? And then he went to go chase him. And Justin Fields was like, hey, you guys jumped off side. I'm taking a shot. Like that was just kind of like a weird broken play. But there was just times, man, where I felt like guys were in the position to make plays and they didn't. Period. I did see some plays where guys were open, but hey, that OC over there is getting paid millions of dollars to scheme up some plays and get some guys open. What I didn't see is the Chicago Bears come out with a scheme that just dominated our defense. I just saw us not making plays when we were in positions to make plays.
William,
talk to me.
Since week 7, we just ended week, 14, 13? I don't even know what week we're in anymore. It's just all a blur. It's just all a blur. When
this was week 14.
Week 14. We played the Baltimore Ravens in week 7.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions are giving up nearly 30 points per game in half of the season.
Yeah.
With you might, I think you are right, because I saw the same things with Reeves Maben. I saw the same things with Burns crashing down very hard on a read option play. Those adjustments
Hutch too.
Hutch too. He had, I saw some stunts where he kind of went around to the D tackle and there was no one over there, especially on that touchdown. You go back and rewatch that touchdown that Fields had late in the game. That was because there was no one outside on a stunt play. 30 points per game. We have an Aaron Glenn problem. You're talking a very, and you are right, but you are, I think you're locked into this very small sample of one game where we did have some good stuff happen, but throughout 7 weeks of this, and you want to be a first place team, this defense is not going to get it done.
Yeah, but I don't think that you can hang Aaron Glenn for that, man.
We have the personnel. We've drafted people.
We don't have the personnel.
All of these people that are on this team have come from who? Brad and Dan.
We have a dollar menu. I'm just saying that it's not exactly. It's not from Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn isn't drafting these guys.
He's got a say.
No.
He's got a little bit of a say.
This is Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell's personnel. We're finding guys off the dollar menu to come play D-line for us. We're benching guys who were productive for us last year in Isaiah Buggs. We're Benito Jones, Pascal, Kaminsky, Okora brothers. Like we're guys
the Okora brothers. I haven't seen them since week 2 of the preseason.
One had a sack today.
What's that put him at 1.5 for the year?
2. But what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is this, man. It's like the dollar menu of defensive line, man. We don't have a good defensive line. I mean, it's just bottom line. There's the Aiden Hutchinson has no help, and Aiden Hutchinson isn't playing like people talk about him. He's not TJ Watt. He is not Micah Parsons. He's like, I don't see Micah Parsons getting beat. I don't see TJ Watt getting beat. Like if they got contained, forget about it. The contain is set over there. That's not what I'm seeing out of him. And then before you guys hammering me, I'm not saying that he's a bad player. He could just be trying to make all of the plays because he feels like he's out there by himself. So I'm not even knocking Hutch because Hutch is the best thing that we got. But what I am saying is he didn't take care of his responsibility on multiple plays today. And I saw that. He got blocked on multiple plays today. And I just don't see Micah Parsons and TJ Watt getting blocked. They're out there just being menaces.
So, yeah, well, I don't think Hutch is in the same category. I think Hutch could be a very, very good defensive end in this league. Like, I don't want to call him elite. I want to put him in that second tier. When I look at Watt and Micah, they're game wreckers. Hutch is not a game wrecker. He at flashes he can be, but I'm talking like whistle in the first quarter to the end of the whistles in the fourth. TJ and Micah are going to wreck games. Hutch is not.
I'm glad you said that, but would you agree Hutch is head over heels our best defensive lineman without question?
Yes, but now let me ask you another
question.
That
is the problem right there, though. He's head over heels our best defensive lineman, and he's not even dominant.
Well, I've been telling you this since our draft shows.
You know what I'm saying? No, I agree. Like I just want to make sure we're circling back to the same place. So now the most important thing that you have to do is disrupt these quarterbacks in the NFL. We can't do that with our pass rush. So what do you expect from Aaron Glenn?
So let me ask you a question.
Talk to me.
If you're on a game show,
yep.
All right, bad analogy. Let me back up. I know where I'm going with this, but I'm trying to set the table for the people here.
Take your time.
All right. You're holding a bucket.
Yep.
you've got to pass that bucket to someone. Someone's got to hold this bucket.
Yeah.
You've got 3 options: Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn. Who you passing the bucket to, and who's taking the blame for this defense?
I think ultimately Brad Holmes has to take the blame for this defense, man, because we got to go get some D linemen. He bet on the guys that he had, and maybe Dan Campbell or Aaron Glenn said that they thought that they had enough. I don't know. I'm not in those rooms, man. So ultimately, if Aaron Glenn said that he thought that he had enough on the D line and we didn't need to go get somebody, then fine. Then talk to me about Aaron Glenn. But when it comes from a scheme standpoint, Aaron Glenn did not put out a bad scheme today. We played bad football and didn't tackle. We didn't decide to tackle today because we bottled. All I can ask you to do is bottle this guy in and don't let him run around like crazy. That happened. So now, did the guys have time to go find holes in a zone and sit and make plays? There's going to be a hole in every zone that you put out there. Did guys have time to beat man? Hey, this is the NFL. Guys are going to create separation. DJ Moore was making the plays a lot of the times, and he's supposed to be a beast. He was doing what beasts do. So my thing is, when it comes from a scheme standpoint, Aaron Glenn was fine for me today. But if we're talking about whose fault it is, then I need to know. Did AG say, hey, man, I got what I need on this D-line. I need a Jack Campbell. I need a whatever. Or was that Brad Holmes being smarter than everybody in the room, drafting Jahmyr Gibbs, drafting Jack Campbell, hey, saying F you guys and whatever you guys think, I'm going to show you guys what needs to be done.
Yeah, I'm going to go take a quarterback who's not going to play and a defensive tackle who's never going to get into a game. And you're right. I'm just, I'm doing what I do. I take a pot, I get a spoon, and I got to stir it up a little bit. I got to stir it up a little bit. That bullshit you put me through yesterday where I was on trial. Hey, you're in the hot seat now, my friend. You're right. And you will vouch for this. And the proof's out there. It's on this show. You can go back to our podcast back in March and April, and I was heavy defensive line, pass rushers.
You were.
Brad Holmes did not address it. And I will say this schematically and I'm not an X's and O's kind of guy. Today I watched Justin Fields have some brain farts at times where he kind of just throws the ball. I remember him trying to pitch one to a fullback out in the flat, and that ball was like the arch on the Millennium Force. Like it was. Yeah. When you do that, bad things usually happen. Today, nobody was even in the vicinity to come knock that ball down or make a play on it. And I saw that 3 or 4 times. So I'm just saying our zone coverage, I'm going to do some digging and some stats. It has to be one of the worst in the NFL. And I know part of that is pass rush. If you don't get home in the NFL, you can't cover for 7-8 seconds. But it's just this zone defense. I would rather just live and die by the man coverage right now.
We just don't have the personnel for it, man.
We don't have the personnel to even play defense. Like, I don't know. If I need to post my phone number on here and we need to bring Pass Brush Perkins out of retirement, we can talk because you put me in pads and Perkins pads equals problems. That's what I'm going to tell you.
Oh, stop it. Can I tell you something else that drove me crazy today that I felt like somebody got exposed?
I don't know if we have time to go through everyone who got exposed today.
Kirby Joseph doesn't want to tackle anyone. On a play where guys go back and watch this play. This is just one. I got more, but this is just one where Anceloni got the penalty for hitting that receiver on the sideline that had stepped out of bounds, right? And he didn't even really hit him hard. He just shoved him out of bounds.
First quarter, right? I think.
I can't remember what quarter it was. It was early. Kirby Joseph got out of the way. He tried to nudge the guy, and then it looked like it was going to be a lot of contact. So he just kind of, and then completely slipped by him. He kept running up the sidelines, and then Anceloni pushed him out of bounds when he had barely stepped out.
Yeah, you can't touch anyone in the NFL.
Yeah, it was a couple of times, man, where Kirby Joseph was coming downhill to assist on run plays, and he really wasn't looking for contact, man. It was just that was troubling for me as a guy that I really look to that could be a vital piece for us. He's an absolute ball hawk on the back end. He has a background as playing receiver, but man, I need him to be ready to get a little bit more physical. I'm not saying that you got to be some physical guy, but you got to sure tackle, man. Like whatever you got to do. Yeah, I don't care if you got to do the Deion Sanders where you push people out of bounds so you nip at their ankles and just get them down and your jersey's still clean somehow. But you got to get guys down.
Yeah, so all in all, Lions lose today. 9-4. We're still in a good spot division-wise, but our chances just dropped to about 50% with 4 games left. And we got a tough schedule. We got some teams coming in that are looking to make the playoffs. Denver's kind of, they got blitzed early in the season by 70, and they've responded. So Denver's not going to be a walk in the park. We got them Saturday night. 9-4. All of our dreams and aspirations are still in play. Nothing in this season is dead. Still have a lot to play for. It's Christmas time. I don't know. I might go watch Miracle on 34th Street because I think I need to see a miracle because I don't see this defense having one for me. So leave a comment down below. We've talked Jared Goff. We've talked Aaron Glenn. Yes. Fired, not fired. Leave your opinion. Leave a comment. Whose team are you on here? You on Team Steve or Team Trash Panda Will over there? I don't know.
Join the right team.
We've talked Dan Campbell. Let us know how you're feeling in the comments. We will be back tomorrow with some more content, guys. Go Lions. Woo.
Peace.